Hey sorcerers, welcome to another Minecraft video, and today in today's Minecraft video we're going to be doing a series called Let's Build, and we're going to start building a medieval village. Not a medieval city, a medieval village, and I want this series to be well thought out. It's not going to be, oh, well, I'll place a blacksmith. I want to be like, oh, well, place a blacksmith, but why do we need a blacksmith? We have to have reasons for everything, so this is going to be a very logical series. So this path which isn't fully complete, it's just a botched job. I'll fix it up later. It goes up into the mountains to some place, we'll figure that out later, and it goes down to the coast. So maybe it's a trading path, and maybe it'll curve around the mountains, but there is a massive mountain range that starts from there or goes all the way around there. So it's going to be a very busy road, for traders and merchants, which are the same thing, and just not tourists, but maybe pilgrims. Maybe there could be a religion which resonates in the mountains. So a lot of people are going to be coming along here, and there's no business right now. There might be a town or a village at the sea and a dock down there, and there might be a religious town up here with a lot of buildings, but there's nothing in the middle. And let's just say this guy, he wants to build a village. You know, he wants to get a bit of business, and he wants to add some variety. You know, this is going to be a mountain town, coast town. What about just the plains town? So before he starts a village, he doesn't really want a village. He wants a tavern. So we're going to think it out. If he wants to bring customers or people that are going to buy stuff into his village, he's going to need some sort of way to attract them. And maybe he doesn't think that this is going to be a village at start. As it starts, he might just want to. Maybe there's a lot of trees. Maybe he wants a lumberjack, and he's just chopping down all these trees, and he's gonna transport down to the coastal city to be transported away. The only problem is he doesn't want a town. He's just starting off and he's gonna place a town, not a town, sorry, a lumberjack maybe. And then the town's going to spread around that, so it's going to be expanding. So as this series progresses, it might expand the town, we may add new stuff, and then when this series is finished, we might start a new town with new building style. Now this is going to be, these houses are not really simple medieval houses. They're kind of, they're quite well developed. They're nearing the end of the medieval ages, you know. It's maybe Victorian. I don't know the actual name for this style. If you know, maybe you could help out in the comments. But it isn't a really early type of medieval style. So first thing this guy's going to do is he's going to build a road out, because he doesn't want to build it right on the road. So he's going to, you know, build a road out here. You know, and he might just do that for now. He will change it. We will change it. Whatever. Maybe just fix it up so it's kind of more of a... There. So then it's a road up here. And he doesn't want to build a lumberjack. This guy, he doesn't want to be chopping down wood all day. He doesn't want to be like real tough. He wants to have kind of a laid back lifestyle, but still, you know, kind of in the wilderness, kind of not. So he's going to make a tavern, actually. He wants to build a tavern. And we want to name this tavern, obviously, but we'll start building it first. So I may speed up this process, I may not. It depends on how I'm feeling. But we're going to get logs, we're going to get some cobblestone, we're going to get some stone bricks, we're going to get some stone brick stairs, we're going to get some wooden stairs, wherever these stuff are. We're going to get some wool. I think that may be adequate for now. We also need some wood block. We need some jungle wood planks. Now actually, if you look here, there's a few of these trees. And this is what I'm talking about. This is going to be a logical series. So there's a few of these trees, but there's not many. There's outskirts of these on this well-painted map. What? I didn't say well-painted. I meant naturally generated map. There's a lot of these trees, spruce trees, and if he wants to build a house or a tavern, he's not going to be chopping down these because there's a very limited supply of these. He may want to keep these, and bloody hell, that's a big tree. So logically, he's going to want to chop down these because they're in more abundance and they'll look better because it's a much easier wood to get. So we're going to build out these logs for a logical manner. Otherwise, it may look a bit nutty, or it may be like, where the hell did he get all this wood? So that's why I'm talking about this series being a logical series. So we're going to build up So we're going to have this log, and then we're going to have a space of about 13, I think. Might go for 15, but I think 15's stretching it a bit. Because this is a tavern, but it's a quite cozy, quite secluded tavern, not cavern. And it's not going to be that big, because he's only one man. He might not be married, we don't know. So it's going to come out 1, 2, oh, actually, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 13 in the middle, and then we plonk like this. And this style he's building is the wall is indented one. It's not flush with the logs. And this style gives it a feeling that the bottom floor is more cozy, and then you go up and then it's a bit bigger. It kind of works because if you have a wall flush with the logs, it's a flat wall. It has no design, although it does work a lot. I like this style because we can do a lot of stuff with that wall, which is flushed in one. Although the negative side to that is that inside it's quite it's nearly claustrophobic at some parts. But we're gonna have a space of 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna put 1 there. So as you can see, it's only gonna be if I add this, it's only gonna be this big. That's pretty small. For those wondering, yes, I will be uploading tutorials of these later. You can watch me build now, although I do skip a lot of the parts because it does get a bit boring and repetitive. But you can watch tutorials, and I will be uploading them a lot, and I should be uploading a lot of speed builds. This channel is going to be aimed at medieval builds and machinimas. That's kind of my thing. I want to start getting into short films in Minecraft, using Minecraft as a medium, but I love building medieval, so I'm going to kind of, put those two together to make maybe medieval buildings in a machinima style, in a short film style. So if we place it like this, now we put the logs up 1 more, just to give it some more height. The walls are only going to go up 3, but this is the bottom floor. Just keep that in mind. Now we want to make it a cross beam, because the next building is going to be 1 block thicker here, so it's going to be more of a more walking space in the building. But we need some supports if it's going to be a bigger type of building. So if we bring these logs out to give it just supports on the sides, we will add later, I'll show you what we're going to do. We can now add these things to add supports on the bottom and the top to give it and it makes it look, see, this is what I was talking about. It makes it more, instead of a flat wall, it's got more depth. The height angles are different. So if I was looking at this angle, it's different, this angle is different. It's much more pleasing to the eye. So then we're going to bring up these logs 2 more. And before we put the walls on these logs, we're going to make the roof, and we're going to meld the wall around the roof. So the roof's the more prominent part in this building. It's quite actually more of the roof's more important than the walls, which is usually, the roof does define a building and its characteristics. And in this village it'll be quite a high, not high wealth, medium wealth. It won't be really poor. You might have some poor areas or lower or not as big houses, let's just say, but they're not going to be real poor. They may be poor in a sense, but they're not going to be as poor as somebody who's got a dirt shack somewhere or lives in a cave. So the roof on this one, it's not going to be a straight diagonal roof, but it's not going to be a curved roof. It's going to be what do we call it? It's going to be a stepped roof, so it's going to step. So we bring this up, and this is going to be the step part. So we do that on either side. And now we have this nice step, so we have this diagonal. All of a sudden it gets a bit steep, but then we bring it back down to the diagonal. So it gives us this, it gives the roof a different shape than usual. Originally you might have a roof going like that, and it is very pleasing to the eye, but it looks a bit normal. But we will do that with some buildings. This town's going to be very varied. Like, there's going to be travelers coming in trying to win their fortune, so they're going to build houses, but they may not be as skilled or have the same ideas as building as this guy, but they may try and copy some of the styles. So we may build buildings with flush walls and none of this cross beams, or we may build walls with non-flush walls, but we may put a diagonal roof. So you can be very varied. but we're not going to vary it too much to make it into a Nordic style or something like that. Otherwise that'd just be too varied. It wouldn't make sense. It would be absolutely crazy. You would have these high wealth kind of medieval, haven't thought of the civilization yet that they live in. I think it's kind of a Victorian, I don't know, it's kind of more higher in the medieval ages. I did extended history, I just cannot remember. We never studied this, we just studied Tutankhamun and Robin Hood and mysteries, mysteries, unfortunately. Now we've got this roof, we may build the other roof, but before that, actually we will build the other roof, just so we can get out of the way, so we do it the same. And with this town, I want to try and keep the sense that it's kind of very secluded. I don't want to make it too big, but I don't want to make it too small, otherwise it's a really small settlement. But I want it to be maybe 1 or 2 more houses, maybe a blacksmith, but I don't want it to be just, or maybe we can, maybe we will make it big, but I want it to start off small, and then maybe instead of having one road that comes out of here, there's another kind of part of town which comes over here, so it doesn't feel like it's all part of one big ultra city. It's just kind of like streets splitting off and maybe a tiny settlement, but then there's a different kind of, not culture, but it's a different type of feeling over there. So maybe this is a richer or more, this is the, what do you call it, this is kind of like the business end of town, but then that area is maybe the residential area of town. So I want it to feel like it's segregated in the sense that there's different, like you have maybe industrial and commercial at the same, so you have like a blacksmith and a tavern, and then maybe over there there's a few residential areas, but then maybe over here there's one manor. Maybe there's like maybe we can make a style of government for the people, with the people, for the people, so we can have, oh god, I just threw that log, god damn it log, but we can have a government maybe, or a little council, maybe not a government which rules, but maybe a richer person which kind of dominates the politics in the local city, so it gives a feeling that it is ruled, but it kind of isn't ruled, if you get a sense. So it hasn't got a type of government. It does follow the laws of the continent, but it is still kind of dominated by and maybe even monopolized by this guy who lives in this manor. We'll have to see. So yeah, and with this style of roof, I like to have a skirting of an outskirt kind of thing of stone bricks to give it a sense that the roof is enclosed. It isn't, if we kind of put the wood down to here, I kind of feel like it isn't completely finished. It can go on, although that is a good sense in most buildings. This tavern, I've experimented a lot with this tavern, and I want it to be stone bricks along the skirt. It gives it a sense that it's weathered. You need this kind of stone to protect all the other wood from weathering, because this is quite a harsh environment, as you can see. You've got plains, you might have a few things, but once you get out here, it's just kind of trees everywhere. So it's quite a harsh environment. And we may have to edit this road, because what I've got planned for this building, it does need some editing of the road, because there is going to be a tiny mini building coming out here, which allows entrance into the actual tavern. So we may need to edit this to give it a bit of more room. Now this contrast with the light wood and the dark wood gives it quite a, not dark feel, but makes it more cozy. If you come in here and you had a lot of light colors, it would make it feel more spread out, and you would also ask yourself, where the hell do you get all the wood? Although this is jungle wood, but nobody needs to know that. But you would ask yourself, it feels a bit more open, a bit more cold maybe. But if you have it enclosed, it feels enclosed, and you have a fireplace maybe at one end, it feels a lot more cozy, and it feels maybe friendlier and more homely. So more people, like, it's a tavern, you want it to be kind of a nice, not gentle, but a sense that you're welcome. Just take your coat off, you don't need it. We've got a fireplace, it's quite cozy in here, you will like it. Something like that. So it gives a sense that come in, you're going to be warm from the harsh environment outside of this tavern. And that feeling is going to try. We're going to try and continue it throughout the whole village. So everyone's going to have a fireplace, because this place, might I say, is bloody freezing. Even though I can't feel it because I'm technically not in the game, this guy who's building it and flying around apparently, he feels quite cold, a bit chilly. You know, he hasn't got any armor on right now. You know, he's got a wizard hat, a beard. He's got a scruffy beard, but you know, he wants some. What the hell's the armor actually? He wants some coziness, so we're going to get him... Actually, don't worry. We're not going to get him some armor because I can't be bothered. But later, he'll have some fur armor, maybe. And that's what I want this place to feel like. A very homely, maybe not as homely, but I want it to feel warm, welcome. You're not going to freeze your butts off in the night. I want it to feel like it's a very... Like I said, I want it to feel welcome. Not too welcome, but I want it... What I mean is I want to make it feel like it's got a sense that you can build here, kind of. You can make your house here, and you're not going to be excluded. There's going to be a lot of people, and actually, I haven't done this part of the wood, so that isn't the greatest bit. Like, oh, he's going to have to rip out those wood stairs. It's a waste of material. Now, for the windows, I want it to be not wood, because we've had a lot of wood. We've got this wood, we've got this wood, we've got this wood. I want there to be a barrier. I don't want this to be wood or wood. I want it to feel more cozy. And there aren't a lot of sheep to appear, but there will be, maybe spawn, but what spawn? That's a crazy idea. But there may be sheep next episode. So I want to add windows made out of wool to feel like it's more cozy, because wool, it does hold heat, and it makes it... You're gonna have this is gonna be pretty dark. There's not gonna be many torches. And what I said about light, I was kind of bullshitting there, but I wasn't. I wanted it to feel dark, and so the walls are kind of closing in. It's very cozy, but then I want it to look like the outside is in the inside, so you're technically part of the cold environment, but still staying warm in a sense. So I want it to be like this place is going to be quite into environment, and maybe might plant new trees, but there might be park or something. I want it to feel like they don't want to be excluded. They're not building this village so they're not excluded from the environment. They want to be part of the environment. They want not be in the trees like tree people or elves or something like that. They want to feel like it's like these trees are their wall. This is like their protection, and if these trees protect them, they want to help them back, kind of sense, because there may or may not be a warring tribe or city-state in another place, and I probably can't be bothered to make that. So now we've kind of finished this house. See, it's got this curved roof, kind of. So you have diagonal, and then you have this step up, and then you have diagonal again with this very shallow, not shallow, but it's like it curves again. So it's diagonal, and then all of a sudden it steps, but then curves back in. So it gives quite a nice appearance. And from there, we also want to we're going to just put these in to measure out where we're going to put this thing. So if we put our steps down, should ultimately be placed correctly with no spaces or weird bits. And then from there, we're gonna we know that 1 2 3 4 1 2. Oh yeah, so we're gonna have 1 2 3 1 2 3. We're gonna have this is gonna be our thing, and then if we put our thing logs there. This might not work out how I liked it. I think that might have been too short. I forget. But if we bring it up to this height, and then we also this is gonna look quite weird, but it does work, kind of. So it's gonna look quite weird, because you're gonna walk in here and it's one wide, and then you're gonna come in here and it's bigger. So it might look big on this building, but it's actually quite small. That's the only problem. So we're gonna bring it up one here, bring it up another, and we're gonna bring it over like this, and this. So then it's exactly the same height. The only difference between this and this is it's a much thinner building. So we're gonna build the same height up like this as well, but the only thing is we're gonna put the roof, and the roof is going to be much smaller. So if I show you here, actually, because the roof is so small, we're going to do a diagonal roof instead of one of those curved roofs, because it won't work out as nicely. So if we do that, and then we do these stone steps like we originally do, and replace this one with this, and remove all the here, and then we put stone steps like that. Now we've got an entrance. Now instead of putting a door here and just being, whoa, like they walk past and they look and they're like, well, that's not really an entrance. It's kind of not, it's not welcoming maybe, because all of it's just a wall and all of a sudden there's a door. Now that does work, but we want this, because it's a tavern, to feel big, open. We want it to feel like, oh, come inside, this is a place for you. So we're gonna add all this, and then we're gonna put a wall, and remove these ones again. Now we also want to make this feel a bit more welcoming by putting in, now this may not work because it's not wide enough. Yes, it won't work. We needed it 2 more wide, 1 on each side. So unfortunately the plan I was going to do wouldn't work, so we'll have to do it on another building, maybe the manor. But this looks like a nice tavern. We'll just fix everything up. And actually, to make the tavern look, feel less claustrophobic, we can also add a back part. So continuing from this, it'll just kind of come out a bit from the back. Because if I'm right, I can remove a few blocks and it won't look any worse. But it will add so much. It will add like 5 blocks. But the space sense that it gives you after you remove those 5 blocks is actually very big. It seems that the room has just expanded a whole lot. It's really effective way to and make your buildings feel a bit bigger. So this is going to come out a tiny bit further than that one. Actually, does it? Yes, it does. 1 by 1 more. So it's going to feel a bit, but also, sorry, I can't finish my sentences. I'm so excited. But it's going to feel a bit like that's a start, but it finished out here. It didn't just go into the building, and it is an effective one, and it also adds more room, obviously, to the building. So we add these and do the original style. And I always forget to add stone steps. It's probably one of the... I always forget it. Every time. So we add stone steps there. And stone steps there. And then we can add our wooden steps here and remove these. So we get that new Minecraft feature of the joining steps. And actually remove that wall as well. And bring this in. Oops. Now you may be asking, where the hell did you get all that stone? Because obviously this series is going to be more logical than just plonking a building down. Now this village is not in motion yet. It hasn't fully... When we finish it, that's when I'll say it's in motion. When we've kind of finished a small part of it, it'll be in motion then. So maybe next episode or the episode after that, we'll get a quarry done, and then we'll get a blacksmith so we can make the stone bricks. And then it will be finished, and we'll say, well, now the village is viable, so we can start producing. It's a working village now. Or we could say that this stone just came from because it isn't that far to the coast actually. If we fly down here, it's just about there. You can see those big trees. Essentially the coast is right, if you can see it, there. So the coast is there, and it's kind of just the path goes down. So the coast isn't that far away. And when we're walking up this path, which isn't fully complete yet, but still, you will see the back end of the tavern. So we want to make it look accommodating as well. If you just have a flat wall, you're like, it doesn't look that good. So now that we have that bit, it makes it a bit more welcoming from a further side. Or it stands out more from the side. And maybe we could, maybe not a sign, but yeah, okay. I was going to maybe say add a sign like the sign of the prancing pony. The prancing pony. something like that. And the name I was going to come up for this just now before I forget is the Lone Man or something like that. Something about seclusion, because this started off as a secluded area, so I wanted to keep it secluded. And we're going to add our trademark wool on, not to really trademark, but we're going to add our wool on here as well. Make these 1 and make these, bring that down and bring that up. Whoops, no, sorry. Remove that and put that there to make it across, because you don't want too big windows, otherwise all your heat escapes. But you don't want too small, otherwise it doesn't really feel like you're part of the environment like you were talking about earlier. So we're going to come down here, and if I just get, I forget how world edit works, I haven't used it for ages, so we do that, and no, actually, sorry, can we undo that? I've never used, I forget how to do it. So instead of that, I just searched it up then. I'm going to go set 43, which if I'm correct, whoops. Is double stone bricks. So if we pick that up. Let's see how my mouse works now. No. Now I just looked at the website for single player commands, and unfortunately they don't have a stop fire spread, so that's going to be quite a. I was hoping that they have a command like that, but they don't. So it's quite an unfortunate set of events. But it'll turn out well, and we add another step here because, well, what? Oh yeah, sorry, now I remember. So we're going to have this, and then we're going to put the here. So it's going to come, and it's going to go through the roof. I'll fix that up in a second. I was going to try and I was going to put fire in there, but unfortunately with the fire spread, we can't, because single player can't disable that. So we may have to put a mod in, but that means if I put a download up, many of your houses are probably going to burn down. So now we've added a chimney, we want to add the outside part of the fireplace. So we're going to add, so it's going to be maybe like that. It's not going to be the most elaborate fireplace in the world. You know, this guy just wants to keep warm. And then we're going to add that, and then this is going to come up here, so it gives it a 3D dimension. So then we'll add a stair there. So now it's got this 3D sense. And then to make, well, actually, firstly we'll just add one more thing for a tiny bit of height, and then so down here we'll grab some of these cobblestone walls, and these are great for, actually that just looks a bit dodgy, so these are great for finishing off a chimney. And just to make it seem that it is a chimney, you know, we'll add the final mark actually. Whoops, no, whoops. So now we'll just add there we go. There's our smoke from our chimney, which is going to be blazing at one point. So now that we have this, we want, actually sorry, we just need to add, I'll fix that up later, I'll fix that up out of video. Now that we have this, we kind of want to add a tavern area. So we don't want it in the way of the fireplace, but we don't want it in the way of this, so it's going to be quite hard. But we could put it here and have a tavern, oops, like that. So that's where the tavern is. I know it's quite a dodgy tavern, but it's so they kind of, you can sit here by the fire, or you can get your stuff, your drinks, meals, and come up here, maybe look at the window. And so it's quite a cozy place, like I said earlier. And we also want to grab some of the, where is it? A trapdoor, just for a door. Actually, can I add it to the top? Yes, I can. Oh no, that won't work. Can we add it like that? Oh, I can add it like that. Okay, so there we go. And to make it feel like it's more of a thing, we like a bench, we can add these pressure plates to make it seem much more cool, like it's a metal kind of thing, but it's woody underneath. So this is quite a cool feature of the new pressure plates. So now you're going to come in here, and I don't know how to make it seem that there's some type of something pouring out. So maybe we could add like but that could be, yeah, because it's not it might, I don't know. Is this going to be a cooking where you cook, or is this just going to be where you grab a drink? I think it's just going to be grab your drinks kind of thing, and then you can cook at home. So it's not for. We could also add beds. That's another idea. We could add like a room here. So there'll be a room here maybe, and a room here. They're going to be like super cozy. Like, I mean, absolutely cramped, but. That's the tavern. Or we could add like a room, split it here, so we could, but it's very hard. So we could have a room here, and a room here. I don't know. But let's just finish up the tavern area for a sec. So this is going to be the thingy. Yeah, see, this is going to work. We've got so little space to work with. But because, thank God I remember that, because we have this, we can actually go here. Whoa, okay, so this is, we'll bring that down one. And if we also get that, we can remove this wall and remove this, and there won't be any, I think, no, we can't remove that. Fail. But we can remove this, and this adds just a tiny bit more space. So now we could actually remove this and put it here. So let us grab this. So they kind of come in here, and then you can go around here, or you can come in here and you can go up here. So that's the sense of it now. So then we'll add these kind of upside down things again. And this one, I think we're just going to use a full block instead, because we don't need a thing, whatever. I can't, words fail me. But if we come over here and we put it here, actually that's quite small, isn't it? I was gonna put it like maybe, if I put it like that, and then I put it like that, and then okay, I've made up my mind. So instead of adding a trapdoor there, we can add, if I can find it, a fence gate here. So now we can add a fence gate, and we don't need whatever. But so this is going to be maybe the basin, and that, oh sorry, another burp. I've got an idea for kind of a beers. So we're going to use the daylight sensor, and the thing with the daylight sensor is it kind of looks like it's a daylight sensor and it has solar panels, but these kind of maybe look like ale. So that's what I was thinking, maybe like that, or something like that. So we can actually, if I get a stair, I can just grab one from here. Okay, I've got an idea. So we put one of the ales there, and then over here we will put something like that. Actually, that looks better for a basin. And then the cauldron can be used to feel like it's pouring beer. So then we can put like that. So that's a beer thing, in a sense. So then you scoop, or something like that. It's really primitive. I can't think of a better idea. So that's kind of this done, and then we're gonna have a seat like that near the fire, I'm thinking. And then if we come upstairs, man, I've been recording for a long time. I'm so tired. If we come up here, we can add and then if we get our trusty, I think we're going to use stone for these, and then if we get our decorative blocks and we get a fence, we can add 2 fences here, and then that's kind of like a table, but it does make a clicking sound. So, oh, we're going to add a room, won't we? Screw it, we'll have this room will be the only accommodable room. Actually, we may add So yeah, like that. We can have a room there, I'm thinking. And maybe that just looks good, so we'll support it here. And then we'll have a room here. And actually, we could add like a... There, so we've got 2 rooms, and then we can, if I can just maybe grab that. So then that's another room, and then with we can have a seat there, and then we can have another seat here. So what I was talking about with the cozy thing, it's quite cozy, isn't it? It's very enclosed. Like the real only space is here, and there's a space between here because this is a walkway, and then maybe we could have a chair there and a chair there, and then oh no, sorry, that's part of the walkway, isn't it? We could have a no, that's part of the walkway. So it's actually quite cozy, and to cap this off, we might just put something like that. And it's very enclosed. I can't think of another place to put a chair without destroying some part of this place. So it isn't very big, but it feels quite cozy. And to finish it off, we will just get up. Now the problem with glass planes, if we're thinking logically, is they're very thin. They're going to lose a lot of heat. So I may just put in glass in the next episode, or off camera. So I'll check back when I've done that, or whatever I've done. And I'm also going to need the glass planes there, and the glass planes there. And then we're going to get rid of these, and we're going to get a door. I'm gonna put a door there, and that feels, I don't know if we should put it like this, so it feels like, I think like that. So then we'll put a door there and a door there, and then we get rid of that. We can get some decoration blocks, and we can get maybe just a crafting bench, and then we'll give them a bed. I think that's all, and a chest. So then you have like a bed here, your chest here, oh, whoops. So a normal chest there, and a crafting bench there, actually. Crafting bench there, because it doesn't matter, and then chest there. So that's the room, pretty cozy. And then we'll just mimic that on the other side, so the crafting bench there, and chest there. So you have this tiny room, and then we can put a torch there. So I think I've finished the thing. I'll add torches off camera and stuff, and I'll fix it up. But I think we've actually finished this first building, our tavern of the village. So it's quite a modest tavern, but you know, it does the job. People can walk here. And I haven't thought of the name, and I haven't finished that, and I haven't thought of the name. That's what I was gonna really say. So I'll think of the name, and then next episode I'll tell you what it is. Or if you feel so inclined, you can put it in the comments, and I'll be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my next episode.